Confederation College holds its convocation ceremonies. The entire province is now under a restricted fire zone. And the pride flag is raised at the Catholic School Board. Good evening and thank you for joining us. It was a big day for local Confederation College graduates. About 1,800 students are celebrating the hard work they've put in during their academic careers. Vasilios Bellos was at the community auditorium today and joins us live in the studio with more. Vasilios.
Thanks, Ryan. The college held two convocation ceremonies today, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, where hundreds of students walked the stage to receive their diplomas and certificates. An important event on Friday recognizing the busy schedules, all-night study sessions, and overall commitment to an academic career. Confederation College held its convocation ceremonies at the community auditorium, with more than 1,800 students in total graduating this semester. Collectively, the two Friday convocation sessions saw close to 1,000 students take the stage in front of family and friends to mark the completion of their post-secondary education.
Today marks an important milestone in your life journey as you graduate from Confederation College.
President Kathleen Lynch provided some inspiring words for the graduates, saying the event never gets old no matter how many times she participates in it. Lynch explains that one of the incredible experiences during a given year is the growth she sees in students from their first day up to graduation.
Well, they certainly mature and get accustomed to college life, and you see them participate in a lot of community activities on campus. Our campus community is strong, our student unions are strong.
The auditorium was packed for the event, with loved ones on hand to support the graduates during their special day. And for at least one of the graduates, having to handle additional stresses many students don't have to manage makes the day even more meaningful.
I actually was pregnant with my daughter in the first semester, and she's just turning 1 at the end of this month. So it's been a really tough and challenging journey, but I'm glad to be here and really proud of myself and how far I've come.
Other students were also proud of the hard work put in during their years at the college and feel like they've built lifelong relationships.
Really exciting. I'm glad we're with all our classmates and teachers, so it's a relief to be done. Definitely the friendships I'm really close with. We have a really small class, so we're all super close, and we're all going to keep in touch.
Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry has expanded its restricted fire zone and is now banning open fires across the entire province. There have been a total of 98 forest fires in the Northwest so far this year, compared to last year's slow season, which saw only 12 fires by this time. Although the Northwest has been spared the worst wildfire impacts so far this year, the fire hazard remains high to extreme across much of the region. There are 25 active fires in the Northwest right now, most of them in the far north. The MNRF says its fire crews are keeping busy and getting support from local fire departments to help fight several blazes. Only one of them, Sioux Lookout 7, is considered to be of note by the MNRF.
It is not the largest fire. It's the second largest fire in the region, measuring 9,285 hectares. And that fire is located north of Cat Lake First Nation. Right now, it's not under control. However, crews are continuing to solidify existing hose lines on the south end of the fire, and they're receiving helicopter bucketing operations.
Although some rain this evening and a slightly cooler weekend could bring some relief, Bazubiak notes the temperatures are expected to be back above seasonal early next week. She urges people to be cautious and pay attention to local fire bylaws, which can be stricter than those of the province. A Thunder Bay police officer has been charged with impaired driving. It happened this morning while the male officer was off duty. He was pulled over in the area of Balmoral Street and the Harbour Expressway. The Thunder Bay Police Service says the officer has been placed on administrative duty. His name hasn't yet been released as he hasn't yet appeared in court. The Thunder Bay Police Service showed off its drone program this afternoon, which has seen significant technological improvements over the past 5 years. The service currently has 3 active drones to be used in different types of investigations. Here's Vasilios Bellos once again with the details.
The Thunder Bay Police Service continues to expand their collection of drones, now having 3 in the fleet. They vary in size and features, with each providing city police unique methods of carrying out investigations. The largest is most often used in missing persons cases or when searching for suspects at large. Acting Traffic Sergeant Tom Armstrong talks more about that drone's technology and its capabilities.
Read a license plate at 500 meters. The zoom capabilities on it are incredible, and it's also got a thermal camera. So it allows us to essentially you can see the body heat of a person. So say we have a young child has wandered off in a green space, or maybe an elderly person with dementia has wandered off in the woods in the wintertime. It's a great tool for that.
The police service's smallest of the 3 drones offers more chance for maneuvering and is even able to fly through a car window with precision. The second largest has been utilized more for traffic blitz, including the one earlier this year for commercial vehicles on Dawson Road. The collection came with it a cost of around $50,000, though Armstrong explains the time and manpower it saves during investigations.
One, just the evidence that it offers us is it's hard to put a value on that. But just simply looking at something like a motor vehicle collision, it cuts the time down, cuts the time for officers on the scene, cuts the time down for road enclosures down by a significant portion. So it's far more efficient and gives us a better evidence at the end of it. So,
with the success that the Thunder Bay Police Service's drone program has seen leading to this expansion, the next step is to train more officers to be able to use them. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
The pride flag was raised this afternoon at the Catholic District School Board office. It happened in front of the largest crowd yet since the flag was first raised 5 years ago. Riley McManus was there.
The flag-raising ceremony was attended by both students from local Catholic schools, along with community members, police, teachers, and the board staff. Many students took to the microphone to express the need for allyship, talked about their experiences while finding out who they are, and for some who are still on that journey, detailed the support they received along with some of the challenges, with many thanking their teachers.
Because you ignited a spark within me I don't think anyone else could have. And I know I would not be up here today without you.
Via Kemble is one of those students who recognizes the challenges the LGBTQSIA students face and details why this is just as an important day for the staff and teachers.
I feel like it wasn't also about inspiring the students, but also the teachers, for teachers to realize that we need those kind of people.
Katie Matthews is the co-chair of the Internal Pride Committee for the Catholic Board and knows that today's flag raising isn't as welcomed everywhere.
Community backlash with all of the things that we see happening in the United States and even in Southern Ontario. So I'm so proud to work for the Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board because we have been such a leader in the province on this. It really comes down to recognizing our gospel values so that all of us belong, all of us are created perfectly.
Jason Veltri of the Rainbow Collective recognizes there's always more work to be done, but states,
I think the school community, specifically why we're here today, has come light years from where we were in 2018 when there was no flag being flown.
Riley McManus, TBT News.
Kids from St. Martin's School joined the older students from Pope John Paul II this morning to celebrate the completion of the school's first ever Pollinator garden. It was all made possible because of the Youth Fusion program. The visiting students from St. Martin's were taught about how the garden was started back in October and about the importance of biodiversity. The students who helped create it are proud of their work. The benches, rock art, and bird houses were all made using recyclables. That's why they chose the garden's fitting name, Trash to Treasure.
And basically what we are doing is we are attracting the pollinators. So this is our pollinator garden, and we are making everything from trash to treasure.
So this idea is really one that gives students freedom and choice. We definitely had the heading of environmental project. And from there, I asked the students, what would you want to do? What can we do to make our school a better place?
Pretty interesting and cool to have a nice spot here, because for new people to come, it's like, oh, in the past years they've done this and this, I'd like to do that again, kind of thing.
After learning about the importance of the garden and pollinators, the students were able to make their own rock art, play relay games, and color with chalk. A Red Rock filmmaker with a passion for history has released colorized video of downtown Port Arthur from more than a century ago. Dee McCauley also added sound effects of trolleys and horses to help bring the vintage scene to life.
Oh, well, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where they were using AI enhancement and colorization. And they've been doing that for at least a year and a half, maybe a little more. And I thought, no one's done this in our area with our old archival footage. So I decided I was going to do it, and really took off.
The archival footage is believed to be from the early 1900s, showing what's now Red River Road. It moves towards Central School, which is currently home to Magnus Theatre. McCauley took the footage from the Thunder Bay Vignettes videos that were produced by Dougal Media in the 1990s. His great-uncle helped get the Port Arthur Street Railway up and running at the turn of the last century. McCauley is now planning to colorize and add sound to more vintage film clips from the area.
Maybe a few more. I'm working on one right now, and it's someone from Nippingen a long time ago. He was paddling a boat there for tourists, bringing them out as bringing anglers out fishing, 1923. But there are a couple more on the list that I'd like to do from Thunder Bay, because it's like, man, that would look really cool to get that colorized.
The videos will be posted on his Thunder Striker Films Facebook page and on his personal page as well. For the first time in more than 3 years, residents of Pioneer Ridge got a special treat today. Young children from Grace Remus Daycare on the main floor came to visit the long-term care facility this afternoon to put smiles on the faces of residents and brighten their day. The group of kids sang songs, played games, and danced for the residents of the city-run seniors' home. The activities were part of the intergenerational programming between Grace Remus and Pioneer Ridge. It's the first time since the onset of the pandemic that the kids were able to visit in person. Supervisor Crystal Wark says the interactions are special for the seniors and the children.
It gives them a sense of enjoyment, a sense of a purpose to help interact generations, the younger generation, older generation. And it's well-being, and the residents just are energized by it. So they love to see the kids, and they love to sing the songs, and even just it reminds them of when they had kids or grandchildren.
I think it meant a lot of joy. We certainly enjoyed the kids singing and dancing.
The Grace Remus children will now continue to visit Pioneer Ridge and other long-term care facilities every week as part of that intergenerational programming. So a lot of fun happening inside Pioneer Ridge today, Fiona, and a great day for some fun outside as well. Very warm conditions.
Oh, very warm, and that's despite the fact that there was a lot of cloud up there. It was mostly cloudy for much of the day, but we had a low of 7 and a high of 28. Now, because of the winds coming from the southwest, fairly light for most of the day, although there were brief periods where it gusted up to 31 kilometers per hour. That southwest wind is actually quite dry, and that kept the humidity down low, and basically we weren't having to deal with humidex values, which when you've got a high of 28 can sometimes make it feel a little uncomfortable. Now, to the west, Fort Frances had lots of sunshine in the morning, but then rain moved in the afternoon. They did top out with a high of 26 and a humidex closer to 30, but actually just in the last hour, they've had a thunderstorm pop up and temperatures have dropped about 5 degrees just in the last half hour. Now, it's a little warmer up into Kenora and Dryden at 19-24 in Red Lake. They had a couple of very brief showers today, and The Humidex hit 28 at times in the afternoon. They're currently at 24. Humidex making it feel maybe a couple degrees warmer. Similar temperatures into Sioux Lookout. Armstrong a bit cooler at 17. Greenstone, lots of sunshine there at 24. And Marathon definitely on the cool side with winds from the southwest. It's a lake effect, and it's keeping things quite cool at just 12 Celsius. Sault Ste. Marie, mostly cloudy at this hour, and they're currently at 20 Celsius. That's pretty close to the high for the day, so it was a little bit cooler on the eastern shores of Lake Superior. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, it's going to be a very mild overnight low. We're going to drop only to 14, and I had thought that we had basically missed the rain today altogether. Apparently, there were a couple of drops reported to me by somebody in a couple parts of the city, but for the most part, the brunt of the rain did not hit us. We are expecting a shower or two overnight this evening, and it's going to sweep through fairly quickly, head to the south, and that's going to leave Saturday and Sunday to be quite dry and comfortable. I'll have more details on what numbers those will be associated with later on in the news hour.
Yeah, I got a few drops on my windshield driving into work this morning. Thanks a lot, Fiona. Well, when we return, we'll bring you some breaking news from within the last half hour or so. David Johnston has resigned his role as Special Rapporteur on Foreign Interference. We'll have details right after the break.